Hello human beings, I am crazylegsjan and welcome back to VR in a wheelchair. Today we are reviewing a game called Requisition VR. Requisition VR is a zombie game. You can pick between survival, horde and story mode. I chose the survival mode because that's the new mode that is out today when you're watching this video. I'm playing with Lawman, one of my good friends, and we are trying out the survival mode here with the new updates that has come out. We are speaking in the game, but we are speaking Danish, so that's the reason I kind of muted everything that we have said, because you wouldn't understand anyways. When you start out the survival map, the host always start here in this alleyway. There is 3 cans of food behind you, or in front of you in this case. And then there is some items in the cabinet right here in front of you. It's different on what is actually in the cabinet each time, but there's always 3 cans of food in that little box on the ground. In the options you can change if you are right or left-handed, but it also changes which hand you move around on and which hand you snap turn on. I have it in right hand mode even though I'm a left hand. But I like the way that the controls are working in right hand mode. The game has a little field guide on your right front shoulder. It shows you the different rules on the survival part, the survive in particular, the dangers of the world including the toxic fog, how the town is mapped out, and what the other players means to you, along with the quests of the game. You also have a map tab that shows you the different parts of the town. It doesn't show where you are compared to the map, but there are some guidelines here and there, and there's also a fully sewer in the map. Like here, I'm showing you where you start as the host. You start in that little alley, and this is where the base me and Lawman used to have. So you have those war and stuff trailers. That is the only guidelines you have. You also have some quests as the hunter and the bunker. I never really messed around with them, so I'm not really sure how they work. Also, I had apparently a lot of hairs inside the headset as in the facial interface, so that's the reason you see me messing around with the headset. And it looks like I'm picking my nose. I swear to God, I'm not, but I had some hairs messing with me. Me and Lawman was going over to a safe house that we knew was above street level, and zombies wouldn't really get up to the point where the safe house is. I obviously knew where it was because I started at the same point every freaking time. Lawman, on the other hand, has a random starting point, and everyone else that is joining would have a random starting point too. You can be up to 4 different people in total as you're playing this game. When you get to a safe house, you can capture a bed just like you saw here. And when you capture the bed, it will highlight on what you can do to upgrade the bed. When you're upgrading the bed, it basically does so you are dead for a shorter period of time. You can grab your backpack over the left shoulder or the right shoulder. And if you want to store stuff, you do it over the left shoulder or the right shoulder too. The right shoulder is the special item, and the left shoulder is all the smaller items in the backpack. So you can have 1 special item and multiple normal items. You also have 2 belt places to store items. They are on each side of your body. They are a little bit far out if you ask me, but at least I can actually use them compared to a lot of other games that I've played, where the belt is not accessible when you're sitting down in a wheelchair. When you're playing the survival part of this game, you end up in a not completely open world map, but a somewhat open world map, where the plan for you is to obviously survive. You do that by searching all the cabinets and drawers and whatever storage cabinet that you can find to find weapons, food, and other accessories like wooden scraps, wooden boards. Anything that you can find, you can use. And you can also turn stuff into metal scraps or wood scraps with your hammer on your left front shoulder. You have different enemies in this game. You have the zombies. There are different types of them. Normal zombies, bigger tank zombies, and also some red zombies that shoots bees at you. There are most likely also more zombies than those that I just mentioned. I just haven't noticed them. You also have your food or first bar that is in the bottom of the screen here. They moved it inside the headset so you can actually see it correctly now. It doesn't matter if you're eating food or if you're drinking something, it will fill up the bar with X amount of HP or hunger saturation. You also have a red mist that will hurt you if you are not inside a safe area. So inside this area where me and Lawman is right now, we won't be hurt when we are outside. If you're not near a base when the red mist is coming, then go inside a house. Then you will be safe. You can also move either of your hands up in front of your mouth, and then you will automatically hold your breath. You won't hold it forever, obviously, but that's an option too. As you can see here, you have a hammer where you can use that to basically destroy everything in the world. At least nearly everything. You take that out from your left front shoulder and then you begin to smash stuff that is in front of you if you want to smash it. When you smash an item, you will get a resource out of it, like wooden splinters, metal splinters, or cloth for that matter. Like Lawman here, he's smashing the laptop. But for some reason, the animation when he's doing it looks weird, even though he's most likely swinging his arm like a crazy man. You have a group system, and it's a little bit weird because I'm not exactly sure how it works. I think you look at the person, and then you move up your non-dominant hand and click on the watch with your dominant hand, as in dominant hand in the game. You point at the watch and then you click on the trigger and then you activate the button on the watch. On your in-game dominant hand, you also have a watch that shows you how much money you have. You can use the money in vents that I will show you later in the game. Also, be aware that when you are eating stuff, then it will give a destroy animation when said item is empty. It will give you a bright flash right in your eyes when you're eating. It can be a little bit annoying, but I hope that they will change it later on. In the safe houses, you can build different equipments to make you heal up your friends in the area and to do other different activities. We didn't really dive into that much because the survival part also is missing a save function, if you ask me. So you cannot save your game or your progress for every time you play. You have to start from scratch every time. I did ask the developers if they are adding a save option to the survival part. They haven't reached back to me yet, but if they do, I will leave a comment about it in the video here, because I would love to have a save function in the survival thing. As you can see here, me and Lawman has a little storage space in the building that he has his bed in. So we have like wooden shards in one corner, metal shards in another corner, weapons along one of the walls, and so on and so on. We haven't gotten that far so we can make storage spaces and all that, namely because of the save function that is missing. Because it's actually one of the better survival games in VR that I have played. And I love that you can play multiplayer in it. You also in the safe houses have a mission board. I kind of forgot about it when recording this video here, but it's right in front of this building that I'm standing inside now. But it basically shows you the different types of missions, if you will, tasks that you can build inside the safe area. And all the tasks are marked like that one right there with a red outline of said item. And it needs different materials to be built. As you can see here, sometimes the mechanics of getting your backpack off from your back is resulting in you grabbing whatever item that is on the ground. I'm not sure why it does that. It has gotten a lot better, but it still has some issues for some reason. We tried to get into a house, but all the doors and windows was boarded up, so we tried with a crowbar, and I think Lawman tried with a kind of a pickaxe to try and get the boards off the doors, but it didn't really work out for us. I'm sure that there is a way to actually get the boards off, like maybe with a weapon or a saw of some sort, but we didn't find the saw, and the crowbar and the pickaxe didn't work out. We then, instead of going into the boarded house, we decided to go over to this store and see what was in here. There was a few zombies, but that wasn't a problem. And I had a katana and Lawman had a axe. Basically, hit and evade was my choice of attack. We pretty much found food heaven in this store here. Like, there was food and drinks all over the place. There was also one of the machines where you can buy stuff. That's the machine you can hear in the background. It will keep going on with that sound until you actually interact with it. We didn't buy anything because there wasn't really anything that we saw that we needed from the store. But as you can see, you can buy different kind of things, and it would be helpful if you like need a TV to combine with something else to make out a weapon. Because this is where this game shines. You can combine different items with duct tape, and then you have a brand new weapon. In this game you have a particular version of making your own weapons. You grab whatever weapon you want and whatever other item in your other hand, and then you hold down the bottom button on your controller. Then you can take some duct tape on either of your shoulders and then duct them together. It's only the imagination that basically sets the limits. I have seen a ankle grinder with saws on. An awesome zombie killer, to be honest. Here I'm basically just showing it off to give you an idea on how it works. It's a really neat feature, and it actually opens up for a lot of creativity. And especially if you're playing with friends or other people in general. Because no one has the same idea as you. So me and Lawman, for example, we made some weird weapons. They were effective, but they were weird. There's also some weapons that has a specific schematic to it, like this knife here, where you kind of need to put it together with these things here for it to work. You can also open the trunks and the bonnet of the cars, of most cars at least. and find materials in the trunk and batteries and such in the bonnet of the cars. So remember to check the cars, guys. You cannot open the doors though. There's obviously also normal shooting weapons like assault rifles and pistols, and most likely also a shotgun in the game. Me and Lawman was lucky enough to actually find a AK-47 and a magazine with bullets in it, so we could try it out. It's not super easy to aim, but it does make it easier to get rid of some of the zombies. Especially the red ones that are shooting bees at you. You can also make traps in this game, like here, where you find this machine that tells you what you need to bring, and then it will make a trap for you. Requisition VR can definitely be played as a wheelchair user. When you start up the game, you are being introduced to a calibration screen, where you can choose if you're standing or sitting, and then it will correct the height so it fits the game. I didn't see any problems playing this game. Normally I have problems with my height because I'm always crouching in games, but that wasn't an issue here. Also, the build places are placed correctly so I can actually use them when sitting down. But 100% try this game out if you're into survival games and zombie games, because it's worth it. The game is on Steam for 28.99 euros and it's coming out of early access today. So it might be a little bit more expensive or it might be a little bit cheaper, but that's the current price as I'm looking at it right now. If you feel like I'm missing something or could have done something differently, then leave a comment and remember to like and subscribe if you want to see more. If you enjoyed this video, then be sure to check out this video here where I'm reviewing The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners.